I quickly want to share something that I kind of stumbled upon earlier. Well, it's 4 a.m. at the moment, so I suppose last night, that I recorded very quickly because it was it was pretty mind blowing, and I'm not sure whether I was onto anything or not. And since then, it just feels like there's been so many things along with that that's gone through my head that I've decided to redo the video. But I quickly want to share something that I genuinely stumbled upon. So last night I was going through the Bible. Long story short, reading from Genesis 1, looking for a specific section, and instead of just Googling where in the Bible it is, I just decided to read literally from the beginning, up to the point where I got to Genesis 7. And it speaks here of Noah's flood. And we've all read through this, everybody knows the story. And I decided to read through it, and it kind of piqued my interest a little bit more, and simply because yesterday I did a video about a dream that I had. Um, on Monday evening, and it was a rapture dream, and it featured Noah in there. Um, and and I just quickly want to clarify something. So in my dream, in the dream that I had on Monday evening, God explained to me or showed me the correlation between Noah and or the Noah generation, how things were in those days and how it is currently. And obviously, everybody knows the verse in the Bible it speaks of, and in those days it'll be as in the days of Noah. And that whole section generally refers to the fact or the type of people that will be present and the lawlessness that will abound and the fact that people will have gone astray from God to such an extent that it will be as in the days of Noah. But if you think about it, that paragraph didn't say only that it'll be in the days of Noah just because there were so many bad people around. It said that it will be as in the days of Noah. And what I'm trying to point out is Noah himself was also present in the days of Noah. His ark was also present, and the flood. Um, and trying to just relay that to you, where we are currently at, it is as in the days of Noah. Everything has gone haywire. I'm not even going to try and explain it. I think everybody would be on the same page with that statement. But along with that, trying to then establish if Noah was present back in the day, who's the Noah currently? What's the ark currently? And where is the flood going to come in, or the destruction? And I think it's actually pretty easy to pinpoint it. So Noah was a chosen person, a chosen generation. He was a people selected by God to be saved from the destruction that was about to come upon the earth. And God specifically selected him, a select few, him and his 3 sons and their wives, to be kept safe, to be spared of those things, of the destruction that was about to come upon the earth. And if I have to correlate that with where we are, it's exactly what's going to happen in the rapture. God is going to select his elect to be a chosen person to come out from the rest, to be spared the destruction that is about to come upon the earth. So the Noah in the Old Testament, well, in the proper Noah was a person with his family, and in our case, it's going to be the rapture. Again, it's the chosen remnant of God, the ones that God has chosen to take out of this tribulation time that's about to approach. And then if you look at the ark was the means by which God brought Noah and his family out of that, and the means which he used to keep them safe and to keep them sheltered and protected from the destruction that was about to come. And if you look at it in where we are currently at, that would be the rapture. So the rapture would resemble the ark, where that will be the means by which God will keep us safe or have us not not participate in the destruction that is about to come. And then obviously the flood would, in these days, would be symbolized by the tribulation that is about to come upon the earth. So I hope I've made that connection clear. Okay, so that is pretty much what God explained to me. And I don't know if I necessarily explained it like that in my previous video, hence the reason I decided to redo it. Okay, so bearing that in mind, I'm repeating, I did not go looking for Noah this yesterday evening. I was looking for something completely different, and I just decided to read through Genesis to try and see where it is. Any case, and when I got to the flood, read through the whole thing, and then there was one section that really stood out for me, and it's this highlighted section. And I'm just quickly going to confirm, this is basically where everybody goes into the ark. And from verse 9 it says, 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. So just quickly want to pause there, and again, if I am missing something here, please let me know. If I'm completely on the wrong track, if there is something that I'm misinterpreting, let me know. This just, I don't know, it just stood out for me. So to me it looks in verse 9 as though everybody went into the ark. And then it came to pass after 7 days, so they were in the ark for 7 days on dry land. And after 7 days the waters were on the earth. And then also, in the 600th year of Noah's life. So this is the year in which Noah turned 600 years old. So let's say you are turning 40 in 2020, then that is exactly the same reference. It is the year in which you turn 40. So Noah turned 600 in that specific year. And then they refer to in the second month of that year in which he turned 600, and then the 17th day of that month was the day when the fountains of the great deep were broken and the windows of heaven were opened. In other words, the flood came. And something that really stood out for me was the fact that they very specifically pinpointed a month and a day. And I've previously read it and it hasn't really struck a chord with me. And I just thought to myself, it's pretty weird that they mentioned a month and a day if there is no significance to it. Because if you think about it, they could have just said, and Noah and all the animals climbed in the ark, and off they went. Or just said it happened in the year in which Noah turned 600, or whatever the case may be, except if there is a significance to the month and the specific date. However, there's no feast surrounding this that gets celebrated on this date. There's nothing specific currently that I'm aware of, and again, I might be wrong. So if I am, please point it out to me, because maybe I'm just misinterpreting all of this. But surely there must be a reason why the month and the day is stipulated. Any case, and so I'm not particularly into trying to predict dates and things like that. And I have over this year specifically, actually followed a lot of the feasts, the fall feasts and things like that. And obviously being aware that the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar is different, and knowing that Noah did not use the Gregorian calendar, I thought, oh, let me just for what it's worth, simply because this really puzzled me, look it up. And I got to this. So the first month of the Hebrew calendar is Tishri. So it's the first month. And then the second month is this little one. So it actually also symbolizes the reign of, I assume, Noah's flood. So this would be the second month. So I need to somehow figure out where this would fall within the Gregorian calendar, if that makes any sense. So I went over to this site, actually helps quite a bit. And there we go. We are in the second month of the Hebrew calendar on the 17th day of the month. So just to confirm, it says here that it was in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, so that would refer to the second month in that year, and then the 17th day of the month. So there we are. So on the Gregorian calendar, that would fall on the 4th of November, which would bring you to that exact date, the 17th day of the second month. So if Noah was alive today, that would have been the date on which the flood would have taken place. So it would have taken place on the 4th of November. But bearing in mind, it says here that they got into the ark 7 days prior to the flood. So if you have to take the 24th of November and take away 7 days, you'd get to the 28th of October. So there you go. And the 28th of October is 11 days away. So bear with me on this one, and this is where I'm not trying to predict a date here. I'm just saying this is just too coincidental, and I might be completely wrong, and I'm actually just asking for your opinions. So if what happened in Noah's days is a replica of what we can expect to come with the rapture and the tribulation, again, because it confirms it in the Bible, it says that as in the days of Noah. So in other words, everything that happened in the days of Noah, so it will be in the times that we are currently at. In any case, so if the ark was their place of safety that God called them to, and they entered the ark, and 7 days later the flood took place, then would it be possible that if the ark and the rapture is connected, that the rapture could possibly take place on the 28th, which would obviously be the separation from the current people. I mean, that's what happened with Noah and the ark. They were separated from the people in their time. They went into the ark, stayed there for 7 days, and then the tribulation came, or the flood came. So I'm just saying it's very coincidental that it's taking place pretty much like it's put out here. And then also, I don't particularly keep up with world events in the sense of political things and stuff like that. I try and stay out of stuff that I don't need to get on top of, or don't really need to get involved with. But again, just quickly going back to the exact date, 4th of November, which is the 17th day of the second month, which again it says here, the second month, the 17th day. This falls on the 4th of November, and I haven't done a lot of research, but I know there's been a lot of talk about tensions specifically in America because of the elections taking place, and I'm not even sure. I'm from South Africa, so I'm not particularly interested on whether it's on the 3rd or the 4th, but I know that it's roughly around that time, and I know there's quite, like, for instance, like this, there's quite a lot of talk about tensions around this whole time, and obviously along with that, there's a lot of people that have rapture dreams at this point, and a lot of people that know that the coming of God is near. And I thought I'd actually just quickly bring in something that has been quite significant to me. So about 3 months ago, well, no, the 1st of August, I came back to my hometown. And it was quite a strange situation because I have no desire to be back here. I know that God told me in June, it was either May or June, that I had to come back before the next event or before the next thing happens. And at that point, I had no idea how it was going to happen, or when that would actually be. And things in my life actually changed to such an extent that from the 1st of August, I got back to my hometown. And when I got back here, my mother asked me, but what's the reason for you having to return? And I told her, I don't know, but I'm 100% sure that as soon as I'm back, God's going to show me. And within 4 days, I had a dream in which God actually did tell me. And I remember I got up the next morning, I actually wrote it down in my diary as well. I went to my mother and I told her about the dream. And in the dream, I was told that I had to come back to spend the last bit of time with my mother, because I would, and the exact words that I got is, I would soon no longer be here. Um, and she would be upset if she didn't get to spend this last bit of time with me. And in my dream, I perceived that time to be short in the sense of 3 months, and I can actually post it, the actual diary entry that I did, where I said that the time frame that I got was short, as in 3 months, not short as in 2 years. And that's why this specifically to me is actually rings a little bit more true. I'm still not trying to say that the rapture is definitely going to be in October, but it would kind of fall in line with that part of a personal confirmation that I feel that God gave to me as well. And whether I've got a short time left because I am going to depart in a rapture, or going to have to leave, or is just going to be taken out, or whatever the case may be. I didn't get any further clarity on that. But I got home on the 1st of August, so that would be the whole of August, whole of September, and then pretty much October. And again, like I mentioned, I'm just trying to draw the correlation between the section where they said that in those days it'll be as in the days of Noah, and it's again, I don't know, give me your opinions on why you think that they would have specifically mentioned a month and a day if it was not significant. Because currently there's no significance to it in the sense of it being a festival or a holiday or a feast or something that's celebrated, or not that I'm aware of at least. So then surely there must be some other reason why the specific month and day is significant. I don't know. I like I mentioned, this is not something that I went to go and look for. I literally just came upon it, worked it out. That is literally the date when the flood would have started had it taken place in 2020. Could this be next year? I'm sure it probably could. But I'm sure, as with a lot of other people as well, there's a very, very strong sense of time really running out. In actual fact, I know that in May, I woke up one morning and God spoke to me and he said that time is up. It's not running out. There's not a little time left. Time is up. And it really shook me. It woke me up. And he has since given me a lot of dreams and a lot of things. And again, I don't know, maybe this is one of those things that are hidden, quote unquote, in plain sight. Um, and people have just not made the connection, that literally as it was in the days of Noah, so it'll be in the days that we are currently in, and that there's perhaps a greater correlation than just the nature of the people in those days, but the fact that that there was a Noah in those days. And I would really suggest you either watch my previous video about the dream that I had on Monday, or alternatively at least go read in the book of Enoch. And I know there's people that's going to say, oh, don't include any books that's not in the Bible. It's going to help you, the specific section. Go read the book of Enoch, the section specifically where they speak about the birth of Noah. And you will see that he was a specific um, remnant or a specific person selected by God from birth, as his chosen, that he brought out of that Sodom and Gomorrah type um, lifestyle. So he obviously would be um, a prominent figure in our day as well. And like I mentioned, I personally believe that is the remnant that God has chosen, the bride of Christ that will be chosen for the rapture. And the rapture is the same safety net, or the same method of keeping us from the coming tribulation as God used with Noah. He just used the ark. So I don't know. Welcome to give me your opinions on this. I just thought that this was absolutely mind blowing when it was not something that I look for at all, and it pretty much lines up with the time frame of a lot of people's dreams, and a lot of people have the same I almost want to say like the same warning that the Holy Spirit is giving us. So look, whether it's on the 28th or whether it's on any other day, it's not really going to make a difference. We are all meant to be ready for him at any time. I just thought that it's very interesting that in Noah's time they gave an exact month and exact date, and you can actually pull it through to where we are in 2020. So the date that they went into the ark was the 28th of October, which would be then, I believe, the date of the rapture. Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe I've got my dates completely mixed up here somewhere.Maybe somebody has seen a flaw in here that I just haven't. In all honesty, I have. I came upon this probably at about 11 a.m. and it's now 4 well, no, 11 p.m. and it's now 4:30 a.m. So I haven't had any sleep, and I've tried to redo this video just to include a few extra things and perhaps explain myself a little bit better. But any feedback on this would be greatly appreciated.